Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I greet you in the name of the one and only, the divine, eternal oneness of being, whose presence precedes any presence, and whose eternity transcends any notion of time and space. This conference will start with the recitation of a few verses of Quran Kareem by Shirbaz Khan Abed. سلام ما و رحمت خدا بر همه. کنفرانس امروز با تلاوت آیات چند از کلام الله مجید توسط مولوی شیرباز خان عابد آغاز می شود. دیر قدرمن مولوی صاحب مستاس په आवाज د قرآن عظیم شان د څو مبارکو آیاتو د اورېدو په تمه یو. مهرباني وکړئ.
السلام علیکم ورحمت الله. ډیره مننه غلی. نو شروع به ان شاء الله د قرآن عظیم شان په تلاوت سره وکړو. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي جعل في السماء بروجا وجعل فيها سراجا وقمرا منيرا وهو الذي جعل الليل والنهار خلفة لمن أراد أن يذكر أو أراد شكورا وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما إنها ساءت مستقرا ومقاما سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Amen. Distinguished guests, NGO representatives, investors, respected members of Afghan diaspora, and dedicated friends of Afghanistan. It's both an honor and solemn duty to welcome you to this conference jointly organized by the Intra-Afghan Coalition for National Discourse on Afghanistan, the Afghan Global Diaspora Council, and the Coalition for Reconstruction of Afghanistan. Today, we welcome you together with a shared purpose to reimagine, rebuild, and renew our beloved homeland, Afghanistan. Afghanistan stands at a historic crossroads. After years of war, suffering, and displacement, the strength of the Afghan people still stands. The strength is starting to show in the economy. The World Bank reports that Afghanistan's GDP grew in the past 2 years consecutively. But these early signs of progress do not conceal our deep challenges. Unemployment remains high, and nearly half of the population lives in poverty. The country still faces a significant trade deficit, and its financial system is weak, making it difficult to sustain healthy economic growth. This is where our collective role becomes vital. The Afghan diaspora, along with international partners, has the ability and the moral duty to be a driving force for change. By leveraging our resources, knowledge, and networks, we can foster targeted investment, promote local innovation, and ensure humanitarian efforts reaches the most vulnerable. This conference is not just a dialogue, it's an opportunity to take real action. Let it be the starting point for strong plans, fair development, and partnership that meets the need of the Afghan people. Today, we speak not only about Afghanistan, but also for Afghanistan, for its people, and for its future. Thank you for your commitment, presence, and belief in a stronger, united, and self-reliant Afghanistan. I'm confident that together we can turn challenges into opportunities and promises into progress. Today's conference will be held in 2 sessions. The first session, lasting 1 hour, will include opening remarks and presentations by organization leaders, NGO representatives, investors, and other key stakeholders. In the second session, participants will divide into 2 focused breakout groups, one exploring investment opportunities in Afghanistan, and the other addressing strategies for humanitarian assistance. We will be reconvened as full group to hear brief reports from each breakout session. The conference will conclude with the presentation of a final resolution summarizing key insight and collective commitments. مهمانان گرامی، نمایندگان نهادهای خیریه، سرمایه‌گذاران ارجمند، به کنفرانس امروزی که به ابتکار 3 نهاد مدنی، افغانی و غیر انتفاعی، هر یک ائتلاف هدفمند برای گفتمان ملی، شورای جهانی افغانها در خارج از کشور و نهاد بازسازی افغانستان که برای جلب سرمایه‌گذاری‌ها و کمک‌های بشردوستانه برای افغانستان تنظیم شده است، خوش آمدید. موږ له ټولو ګډونوالو نه د زړه له کومې نه مننه کوو چې زموږ بلنه یې منلې ده او دې کنفرانس کې چې د پانګونې او بشري مرستو پر راجلبولو د ګران افغانستان د بیا رغولې لپاره راټول شوي دي. At this point, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Zaman Stanizai, founder and president of the Intra-Afghan Coalition for National Discourse on Afghanistan, to share his insight and words of wisdom. Professor Stanizai.
In the name of the paracosmic consciousness, whose oneness of being pens the verses of perpetually unfolding multiplicities. Afghanistan from Milton to meltdown. Milton's Paradise Lost might have been rediscovered in Afghanistan. But when the country was engulfed in flames, Dante's Divine Comedy was no laughing matter. One wonders how it all turned out so bloody backward in paradise. Today, juxtapositioning paradise and Afghanistan may sound like an oxymoron because the country seems locked in a tragic cycle where each step forward is met with several steps backward. By stepping back into a different reality's timeline, we may be able to right the wrong. To that end, we members of the Inter-Afghan Coalition for National Discourse on Afghanistan, the Afghan Global Diaspora Council, and the Coalition for the Reconstruction of Afghanistan are working to unite global actors, representatives from independent humanitarian organizations, UN agencies, government and non-government organizations, international aid agencies, individual Afghan diaspora organizations, and the private sector to develop collaborative, practical, and immediate solutions supporting the shared ideal, promoting investment opportunities and humanitarian support for Afghanistan. In this regard, we appeal to you on behalf of the people of Afghanistan, its society, elderly, children, and especially the women who have repeatedly been victimized by foreign adventurism, to help mobilize resources and establish partnerships to address Afghanistan's escalating economic and humanitarian crisis. The conference's second goal is to introduce NERPA, the National Economic Reform Program of Afghanistan, an ambitious and visionary economic development initiative aimed at promoting sustainable growth and investment. These objectives must be approached with a clear understanding of the current circumstances and caused by betrayal of the Afghan people. Afghanistan's foreign allies bypassed the country's constitution, undermined the legitimately elected government, and ignored public outcry and warning about Taliban's restrictive attitude towards civil liberties. Afghanistan's partners in reconstruction withdrew their support from the internationally recognized government, which collapsed in August 2021. Ironically, they also denied political recognition to the very Taliban government they later empowered, leaving the entire country in a state of neglect. When governments are boycotted, it's the people who suffer the most from deprivation. This lack of recognition leads to a denial of international assistance to a country on the brink of economic collapse. The World Bank estimates Afghanistan's GDP to be between $17 to $19 billion, with a per capita income of around $460, reflecting a 2.5% GDP growth in 2024 across the agriculture, mining, construction, and trade sectors. Because the de facto government is not politically recognized, small economic gains in some sectors are overshadowed by the country's overall severe economic crisis, with 13.3% unemployment, a 25% trade deficit. Millions of Afghans face food insecurity, displacement, and lack access to healthcare and basic services. The economy is in free fall, and public infrastructure is crumbling. Given the sheer scale of the crisis, the United Nations has identified it as the world's most severe humanitarian crisis, where more than 28 million people, 2/3 of the country's population, require humanitarian assistance. Nearly 20 million people are facing acute food insecurity, and the rates of malnutrition are alarmingly on the rise. Almost 50% of Afghans now live below the poverty line. These crises exacerbated by political complications, particularly the freezing of over $9 billion in assets belonging to the Afghan Central Bank. The lack of international recognition of the de facto government has isolated Afghanistan from the global community and disputed from the economic system. These challenges have worsened due to economic sanctions, the suspension of crucial US and European aid programs, and a sharp decline in international NGO activities. Many humanitarian projects have either stalled or stopped completely because of these restrictions and a lack of institutional transparency. Why is this conference urgently needed? Given the dire circumstances, it is a moral imperative, a strategic necessity, and above all, a humanitarian responsibility for a situation that continues to deteriorate. This conference serves as a lifeline for coordination, connection, and commitment. The organizations supporting this initiative are not waiting for political changes or symbolic gestures. We are taking action because the Afghan people cannot afford any further delays. In order to achieve that, this conference aims to create a collaborative roadmap for effective international assistance, promote a transparent, secure, and accountable investment environment based on anti-corruption measures and equitable distribution, and empower the Afghan diaspora, one of the country's most significant untapped resources, to actively contribute to rebuilding our nation's future. Despite these serious challenges, however, we must also recognize the emerging opportunities. For the first time in decades, the entire territory of Afghanistan is under the control of a single authority. Although politically complex, this situation has led to a level of relative stability and security that has not been experienced in recent years. No active war or widespread regional conflicts currently exist. Warlordism, the endemic regional corruption have decreased. These realities present an opportunity, not a guarantee, but a possibility for major investments in infrastructure, agriculture, energy production, healthcare, education, employment, and digital innovation. To that end, this conference aims to achieve renewed global focus on the Afghan crisis, practical, actionable recommendations for restarting humanitarian development, and commitment from governments, NGOs, and the private sector to re-engage and a coordinated strategy for rebuilding Afghanistan's economic and social institutions. This marks the start of a collaborative effort to restore hope, dignity, and opportunity to millions of Afghans. In that spirit, we urge you not to turn away from the people of Afghanistan. Do not let political uncertainty overshadow our shared humanitarian responsibilities. You are the bridge between survival and revival. Your voices, skills, and contributions are more essential now than ever. Let us remember that the crisis in Afghanistan is not a natural disaster. It arises from political failure, economic isolation, and years of conflict. Yet this crisis can still be reversed through unity, transparency, and international solidarity. We can help turn the page for Afghanistan. Let this conference mark a turning point. Let us invest not only in infrastructure and institutions, but also in human dignity, lasting hope, and a brighter future for Afghanistan. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Stanizai. Now I would like to warmly welcome our next speaker, Dr. Syed Mohammad Hashim Hossain Azimi, founder and chairman of the NERPA program. Dr. Azimi brings a wealth of innovative ideas for transforming Afghanistan's economic landscape through strategic investment, infrastructure development, and sector-specific policy reform. We now turn our attention to you, Dr. Azimi.
By the name of God and the great spirits of the Almighty, it's a privilege to be with everyone, and thank you so much for everyone's attendance, and my warmest regard to everyone. So in relation to today's gathering, as Professor Stanizai Sahib has pointed very important and wisdom words in relation to a common responsibility as an Afghan to come together and make the difference. And I believe in NERPA, with the collaboration of our international bodies, is a new hope, a new step, a new vision for our beloved country, Afghanistan. It's a pleasure to be with everyone. I'm going to dive quickly into NERPA, a quick snapshot of it, which I believe we have spoke previously, and some of you guys are aware of this program, which has been undertaken for the last 5 years. Now we are in the excellent position because of collaboration has been kicked off in an astonishing way. And that's why we all gather today to share this common responsibility to make sure the execution is done in a right manner with the national interest in the center part of this movement. NERPA stands as National Economic Reformation of Afghanistan, is the pioneer or the new hope of the 12th infrastructure program, which accounts both humanitarian, because the impact is phenomenally high to our day-to-day life and our functioning economic and bringing food to our table as a public. So NERPA has looked at it economic with healthy and development and prosperity within to this economic to see in it, and we have achieved in a really stunning fashion with incredible sophisticated paperwork, because it's the key. We have done over 1,000 pages of documents writing the concept for all these 12 programs, with an astonishing archive of blueprint of economic for Afghanistan from Dawood Khan, from the previous time of Dr. Dawood Khan at that time, and all the way to the current date of today. So we have got we went through for the last 4 or 5 years, I would say, all these data to create a tailor-made a solution which is bring impact. So these 12 programs for NERPA has proposed to Afghan's government and the Afghan nation, and above all to the Afghan diaspora, which we believe the diaspora has the most important and strategic responsibility for new page of Afghanistan. And for that reason, we believe these 12 programs as agriculture, housing, energy, healthcare, education, water management, banking, telecom, mining, smart city, railroads, and such as in business association. Obviously, each one of these programs has a number of projects under it, which is, we believe, is a long-term vision for Afghanistan's economic development of have a healthy economic in a global stage. And thankfully, the paper for our geologists, which we always often say that, how do you guys get the money? And I believe Afghanistan, I always say in my speeches, Afghanistan is not a poor country. Afghanistan is one of the richest countries, in fact. And there is a leaked document for those who may remember that there was a leaked document about the Saudi, the lithium of Saudi Arabia was being named once. There is a lots of data that we believe we have, and we can put it into right management form, bring into international table, and be able to put the case forward with economic solution. Purely, the reason I'm saying this, obviously, we will come to the complex side of it, which we have excellent team of us. I will introduce the head of thinking of behind all that. We got an excellent team. Obviously, with one, this is not one-man team. This is a broader team which require both Afghan and non-Afghans to put hands together to make some remarkable difference to humanity and the prosperity of Afghanistan. So I will leave the section of the technical for Andy or Brother Ash, who is our think tank behind NERPA and a mass majority network and connectivity with it. The vision behind that comes Brother Ash is contributing. And after that, Martin Creasy as the global director of NERPA, who is building this astonishing relation both in the Europe and the Commonwealth countries, as well as in Afghanistan, has been welcomed very much so with His Excellency Mulasa Pradhan. So thank you so much. That was a quick briefing. Obviously, we got quite a lot to dive in NERPA's history, and we look forward to dive into it in the next discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Azimi. It's my honor to invite Mr. Ashok Pandey, the esteemed think tank member of NERPA program, to share his valuable insight and perspectives with us. His expertise is sure to deepen our understanding and add significant values to this discussion. The platform is yours now.
Thank you, everybody. And hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I will greet in every possible way if you can hear me well enough and clear enough. Thank you for bringing me into this particular forum. And the opportunity for us does exist to come together. And most importantly, I would like to thank the diaspora here, because end of the day, no matter what we say and do, this is the think group. And this is the group of people who have actually come out of the country for all good and bad reasons, both, but have the best combination of skills, resources, and the wisdom that we can look at Afghanistan from. So hello to everyone. And I'm known as Ash, or Brother Ash in short. I probably have become a universal brother now. So, so I like that title. I don't mind it. So yes, I'm definitely a brother of Afghanistan. Originally, definitely from India as a country, and an Australian citizen as well, just like some of us. But yes, I'm working globally, helping a lot of countries and economies, working with central banks in many countries too, and helping the humanity in general. Bringing the relevance back to what we are talking about here, being Afghanistan, I will probably say and totally concur with everybody out here saying, yes, Afghanistan is not a poor country. All we need to do is put our resources to work. And we have to join hands collectively to make that happen. So for doing that, what we are working on as part of the program is to monetize the assets that we have very much within Afghanistan, most of them being in ground, some being above ground, to make sure that those assets can be monetized. And actually, I'll use the word capitalization of those resources, monetization of the resources feeding into the treasury or the government itself to be able to run some key programs. Of course, also bringing a lot of values to the citizens or the people of Afghanistan. Most importantly, for everybody's benefits, as part of this program, how we're addressing is we are actually bringing in partners, right from banking partners all the way into hands-on delivery partners. We are bringing in lots of partners who are actually going to be, thank you, Mr. Durrani, thanks for your compliment there. So we've been bringing in a lot of partners who can help Afghanistan grow. And one of the opportunities for us to be able to do that is actually we bring in those partners who will be not just EPC partners, but also EPCF partners, which is basically, as you all know, who will also come with the money to be able to either dig or to empower with the form of power, or to be able to use those projects' resources, which can actually be monetized through a process. We have designed a solution which has been accepted by banks. That's the biggest success we have, that the banks have accepted our solution, and we will be able to really start on that journey very soon, pretty much with the blessings and the support of this group, which is what we wanted to kick off that particular process with. So do I have your yes? If you say yes, raise your hand and say yay. Everybody?
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, so that's good. So we have that solution worked out. What we're working on now is putting in different parts of the solution successfully to a reasonable level that we can actually make that work. Now, the good news is this, that we do have supports of some other countries' central banks as well, in principle, that we have already secured. So in short, we are not without partners at the moment, even at the countries and at the treasury level. We just need to be able to work out those capabilities within ourselves. We all have to take responsibilities. We all know the problems. Let's talk about the solutions. Let's keep the politics aside, before or after and whatnot, 2021. That's not the subject. That's history. What we are here is one country, unified country, our country, who we have to help. That's all. And the biggest role can be played by this group. There are so many intellectuals and wise people sitting here. We will invite all of you to please come and participate with us. People with the banking and the financial services background. People with mining, like Mr. Taj, Brother Taj definitely comes from that, huge geology background too. So all sorts of backgrounds, we want to welcome people to come into doing this. We have worked out the solution to monetize the resources for the benefit of the people, and it'll be well planned and executed in a way that the community development happens before the earth is actually dug for the mines. That's how we put the program together. And we do have the blessings of the government. And I don't say political parties. All we care about is government. It's a unified government. We have the blessings of all the parts of Afghanistan community, all parts of politics, and everybody wants to come together, and enough of enough fighting among ourselves. Let's get together and build this economy of Afghanistan to a reasonable level that we can be humans to start with. The human essentials. So as an example, one of the mining discussions is about, and this is a very common one, oh, we will come and start doing mining. No, before you start doing mining, make sure you develop that area around it. That's one step. Step one, which is first and most important step. Because lots of people are coming in with small chunks of money from different countries like China, whatever, X, Y, I don't want to name the countries, but all they're really doing is coming with the shovel and taking stuff at very subsidized rates and actually taking the stuff and getting away. What's happening to the people? People are getting acid water from those mines. People don't have schools. People don't have all those basic human essentials, which we want to empower to the mining process too. Of course, with the blessings and the support of the government too. So I would request the people in this forum who are directly in the government or working with the government or have relationships with the government to please help us in securing that support further, because this is going to be an unlimited work for decades to come. Technically, I'm happy to address any query, any question, including in this forum. If you have, I keep it open for you for the next 2 minutes, please. Thank you, Mr. Dawa.
Thank you, Ash. We will have
Mrs. Deva. Miss Deva.
Miss Deva, sorry. Apologies. It's one small screen and quite a few faces. So if I'm missing out on names properly, pronunciation or gender, my apologies.
Actually, Ash, we will have question session at the second session of this conference.
That's fine. It's all good.
Sounds good.
I'm good with that.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm pleased to invite Mr. Martin Craisley, Global Relation Director of NERPA program, to share his insight. With his extensive experience in fostering international partnership and advancing NERPA's mission globally, we look forward to his valuable perspective on international cooperation and strategic engagement for Afghanistan's development. You now lead us forward with your words.
Thank you very much. Firstly, it's an absolute honour and a privilege to be part of this team. Secondly, I'm speaking from my phone, so I hope you can all hear me and unfortunately see me very well. And thirdly, how do I follow what Ash has just said? I've been involved with Afghanistan for well over 10 years, with the previous government and with the current government. I've spent a lot of time over there with Mr. Tash, Mr. Ashner, and of course, Asimi Shah, and seen all the problems. We've identified all the problems, and then we got to work on it really, really hard. Especially Shah is done an absolutely amazing job there. They've given me a title. I really don't have a title. I'm just part of a team, and that's what we are. We are a team. I speak from the heart. I've no prepared speech. It's all from the heart. I actually see myself as being part Afghan now. I've spent so much time in Afghanistan and with the people of Afghanistan. But my job has been basically to network, bring people together. I have a huge network of contacts all over the globe, with the British Commonwealth. We keep politics out of it, but I'm particularly been looking at new technologies as well, disruptive technologies with education, with new education, artificial intelligence. We got to look for the future, not look at what's happening now. We've been looking at mining technologies, we've been looking at energy technologies, we've been looking at agricultural technologies and amazing new technologies, which we would like to launch in Afghanistan to be the first country in the world to have these technologies. So that's been part of my job, bringing these people together. I don't know what to say after what Ash has just said, really. It is, we've got a fantastic team here, all involved in this. The reason we've had a success in doing what we're doing is we work as a team, and teams win, individuals don't. We've got to work together. I'm a man of action as well. I tend to stay in the background, but words are words. We need action. We need all to, as Ash said, we need to pull together. There's some fantastic, amazing people on this call now in the diaspora. We need to start. The time is now for action. We've built the foundations with NERPA. It's like a microchip. We put all the wires together. We need some soldering done now, and this is the important bit. And we can do that together as a team. I think that's about it from me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martin.
If that was okay.
Thank you, Martin, for your insight and commitment to people of Afghanistan. We are honored to invite Mr. Khalid Fahim, Head of Partnership Solidarity Committee for Afghanistan, to share his insight at our today's conference. His long-standing dedication to Afghan development and solidarity efforts offers valuable perspective that will greatly enrich our discussion. The platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Durkhana Zahin, sister. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as I see friends from different parts of the world. So wherever you are, either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So let me begin by thanking the organizers of this important conference. I had the opportunity to go through the objectives, and this is quite rare that we come across pragmatic objectives. So let me congratulate you for formulating pragmatic objectives grounded in the ground realities, and also that call for collective action, as well as the stronger emphasis on coming together, the international community, and the huge potential that is within the diaspora community to give a voice to the needs and voices of the people living in Afghanistan. So congratulations to the organizers of this important international conference that is Afghans-led conference. As was said by Mrs. Zahin, this is Khalid Fahim, the head of partnerships for the Solidarity Committee for Afghanistan. And I see a clarification needed here. We were a former Swedish Committee for Afghanistan. But then due to some incidents of desecration to the Holy Quran that happened in 2023 in Sweden, the authorities in Afghanistan reacted to that one, and we had to suspend our direct implementation of programs and projects in Afghanistan. And that process also led to changing the name from Swedish Committee to Solidarity Committee for Afghanistan. So altogether, we have more than 40 years of experience in Afghanistan and have been committed to the rights and development of the Afghan people. What also is quite important in being in Afghanistan, that has been done in full respect to the religious values and local traditions of the people of Afghanistan. That is at the core of every engagement and development that brings about a lot of ownership and acceptance. So, and we have remained with the people of Afghanistan, irrespective of the fact that who is in power, as our commitment had been to the people of Afghanistan, and people of Afghanistan had been there under any political forces that have been in power. So, Dr. Saib Stanizai, I believe, touched upon the challenges and opportunities that were cutting across both humanitarian and development sectors in Afghanistan. So I would not dig into repeating them, but will highlight only certain aspects that I believe are important here. I think among the development actors and the international community, one issue that is a bit controversial, that is engagement with Afghanistan. So from a humanitarian and development perspective, we believe that a principled but pragmatic engagement is necessary to be maintained with Afghanistan. As we understand, engaging with authorities in Afghanistan does not necessarily mean political or diplomatic recognition. So the international community need to identify and demarcate that difference. Engagement where people are put at the center. So this engagement is a moral and practical necessity to reach those Afghans that are living inside Afghanistan, and particularly those vulnerable ones, especially women, girls, and in general, the rural poor. In terms of challenges, Dr. Saib Stanizai covered them very well, but let me also highlight certain longer-term development indicators that have been challenged by the ongoing economic and humanitarian crisis, and that is the sharply increasing and rising child and maternal mortality rate, which was one of the success of the past 20 years of collective investment by the international community in Afghanistan itself. So there is a need to preserve those gains. And also in terms of literacy rates, not very immediate, but within few years, we will see a harsh decline into the literacy rates of Afghanistan due to that ban on girls' education and also the shortage of professional staff within health, within education, and other sectors. And this one other thing also that is quite important to highlight is that the global attention is shifting. A couple of years ago, that attention was negatively impacted by developments within Ukraine, and now there are new challenges within Middle East and elsewhere. So what we need to do is to highlight that Afghans should not be forgotten. And also what also is important is that those vulnerable population of Afghanistan, more specifically women and girls, they should not be doubly punished. What I mean with double punishment is, once the repressive policies and restrictive policies inside the country, and second is by decreased aid. So who are losing by decreased aid? It is all those vulnerable groups within Afghanistan, namely women, girls, persons with disabilities, and others. So Afghanistan needs to be given its deepening economic and humanitarian crisis that needs to be at the center of the attention. At the same time, there has been opportunities. Again, I believe I see certain overlap with the opportunities that have been mentioned, and I'll skip the ones that have already been touched upon. But I believe that there are certain opportunities within business sector for women as well. There is that has that relative religious aspect as well in terms of acceptance to work increasingly with women. Within education, there is an entry point and opportunity to engage and work with the girls' education at primary level. And also the biggest opportunity as well is the expertise and human resources within the Afghan diaspora. And also quite conducive environment for the private sector and development collaboration. So we can capitalize on all these.
We can continue in the second session. To continue this conversation will be in the second session, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So we can capitalize on all these and try to utilize and join forces to capitalize on these opportunities and entry points. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fahim. And now Mr. Shirzai will invite our guest from Afghanistan.
اوس په ډېر درناوی الحاج مولوي نورالدین ترابي د افغانستان اسلامي امارت د پیښو سره د مبارزې د ملي ادارې سرپرسته بلنه ورکوو ترڅو خپله وینا موږ ته واوري او د یاد ادارې د فعالیتونو لاسته راوړنو او راتلونکو پلانونو په اړه موږ ته خپل ارزښتناک معلومات وړاندې کړي. الحاج مولوي صاحب نورالدین ترابي.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإن الله لمع المحسنين. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير الناس من ينفع الناس. طول قدولوان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. د اجنډا د مضمون سره سم د دې لپاره چې وخت مستایسم نشي ضایع دوه خبرې دي په اجنډا کې یو هو سرمایه ګذاري ده که سم په هغه کې خو زموږ رابطه نشو په هغه کې به لږ خبره وکړم هغه دا دی چې د افغانستان چې دی تاسو ټولو ته معلومه ده چې ټول معدنات تقریبا الحمدلله ډک دي او د سرمایه ګذاري لپاره ډیر چانس دی او افغانستان وران ویجاڼ دی هم د سړکانو د جوړېدو ضرورت شته هم د بندونو ضرورت شته د هر شي ضرورت شته که خارجي سرمایه ګذاران دي او که داخلي دي ټولو ته ضرورت شته که څه هم دا خو د معدنو صنایع یا د خارجه وزارت یا د نورو کار دی نو ضرورت خو ډېر دی هغه هر وخت بلنه ورکړې ده نو زموږ د خوا هم بلنه ورکول کېږي او بله دا خبره ده که څوک دا خبره کوي چې امنیت نشته نو موږ دلته کاروبار نشو کولی امنیت به زه تاسو ته ووایم چې په ټول افغانستان کې د میډیا خبرې به سره پرېږدو په ټول افغانستان کې د مخالفینو داسې یوه ولیش مرکز هم نشته چې دوی پر یوه ولیش باندې تسلط لري زه یې ژوندی مثال درته وایم دغه اوس د اختر څخه مخکې بیا ما یو سفر شروع کړ د خپلو ریاستونو دپاره د حوادثو د وزارت ادارې چې دي د بامیان څخه بامیان ته ولاړم بیا د بامیان څخه غور ته ولاړم د غور څخه هلمند ته د هلمند څخه نیمروز ته د نیمروز څخه فرات ته بیا هرات ته بیا بادغیس ته فاریاب ته جوزجان ته سرپل ته د هغه ځای څخه بلخ ته بیا سمنګان ته بغلان ته او کندوز ته بیا تخار ته بیا بدخشان ته بیا د بدخشان څخه پر هغه لار رالم چې هغه که خلک دا وایي چې دا داسې د مخالفینو لارې دي د بدخشان څخه در پنجشیر پورې څلور ولسوالۍ دي د بارک ولسوالۍ ده او د جرم ولسوالۍ ده او بیا د یمګان ولسوالۍ ده بیا د کران منجان ولسوالۍ ده د هغه ځای څخه پر هغه جګ کوتل د انجمن پنجشیر ته راواوښتلو د پنجشیر څخه بیا په هر ولایت کې به مو دا هم کول، خپل ریاستونه مو کتل، بیا پروان ته چارکار ته رالو، بیا کاپیسا ته دغه سفر ته کابل ته راورسېدو. نو په دا ټوله لار کې زما سره داسې نه چې ټوله کلشنکوف والا مسله خلک، ټول اداري خلک را سره وو، هېڅ مشکل نه و. د امنیت په لحاظ هم ډاډ درکوم. دا خو هغه خبره ده چې د سرمایه ګذارۍ په باره کې ده، او نور چې هغه اصلي زموږ موضوع ده، موږ د بشري مرستو د وزارت په رأس کې قرار لرو. نو هغه یو خدا دی چې شاید تاسو ته هم معلوم شي په افغانستان کې بېوزلي بیخي زیاته ډېره ده، او که یو څوک داسې وایي چې دلته به دغه زموږ مرسته په ثمر ونه رسېږي، نو زه یې اطمینان ورکوم هر چا ته چې هم به که څوک دلته مرسته کوي، هم به په سرعت سره وي، هم به په شفافیت سره وي، او داسې موږ نه وایو چې دا مرسته موږ ته راکړي، دوی دې راسي خپل پر راسي مرسته وویشي، موږ بیا صرف سهولت ورته برابروو. او دا هم نه ورته وایو چې ته که په بدخشان کې مرسته ویشي، که په هرات کې، که په کندهار کې، که په بامیان کې، هر ځای چې یا نه دا ورته وایي چې ته په هغه ولایتو کې ورکړي چې په هغه کې یا فارسي یا په پښتو وي. نه د پښتو د فارسي مشکل دلته سته، نه د شیعه او د سني دا سته، نه د شمال او د جنوب دا سته. نو ټولو ته و زمینه د کومکونو برابره ده، او تفاهمنامه موږ اوس الحمدلله په 2 ساعته کې تفاهمنامه ورسره امضا کوو چې هر ځای مرسته کوي هغه سکتوري اداره د حوادثو موږ یو. نو په دغه کې ټولو څخه موږ یو غوښتنه کوو، که خارجي ډونران دي او که داخلي تجاران دي، چې د افغانستان د خلکو سره زموږ په توسط کومک وکړي، موږ به صرف سهولتونه ورته برابره کوو. السلام علیکم.
پرمودان الحاج ترابی صاحب محترم. الحاج Maulvi Nuruddin Tarabi is the head of Directorate of Incident Management. He delivered a speech highlighting key points regarding the investment climate in Afghanistan. He confirmed that the current environment is conducive to investment from a security perspective and emphasized the full support of Afghan government for the investment. He noted this support extends for both short-term and long-term investment and accommodating amount ranging from a small to big. Thank you.
مننه.
Thank you, Mr. Shirzai. ډیره مننه کوم له ورور ترابي نه چې خپل معلومات موږ سره شریک کړل. It's time to go to the second session of the conference. As we now transition into the second session of our conference, we kindly ask all participants to divide into 2 focused breakout groups for in-depth discussion. Group 1 will explore investment opportunities in Afghanistan, examining potential sector challenges and incentives for international and local investors. This group will be led by Mr. Azimi, Mr. Humayun Taj. And Mr. Humayun Taj is the ADGC Vice President and NIRPA Executive Member. This team will be assisted by Professor Dudial. This group will stay in this current Zoom group. Group 2 will focus on strategies on humanitarian assistance, discussing effective coordination priority needs and sustainable approaches to aid delivery. This group will be led by Dr. Suraya Paikon and will be assisted by Dr. Tsamkanai and Dr. Nasir Ahmadzai. Participants of this group can click on the link shared in chat box here in this current Zoom and then join that group. And after 45 minutes, they will come back and rejoin us here. Please join the group that best matches your expertise or interest. Each discussion will be led by a moderator and will last about 45 minutes. After the breakout session, we will reconvene to share brief summaries from each group, followed by the closing presentation of our final resolution. Let's now begin the breakout discussions.
اخلي زين د پښتو یا دري هم وایي چې نه پوسې کومه خاطر ارسي.
بسیار خوب. دوستای ارجمند، ما به قسمت دوم کنفرانس خود آمدیم. در این قسمت دوم کنفرانس ما به دو گروه تقسیم میشیم. گروه اول گروه است که برای جلب سرمایه گذاری ها تنظیم شده و این گروه توسط جناب عظیمی مدیریت میشه و جناب تارسب اونا را همکاری خواد کردن و جناب تارسب اونا را همکاری خواد کردن. دوستایی که در علاقمند گروه جلب سرمایه گذاری ها هستند در اینمی تیم، در اینمی زوم میمانند و در اینجا به کار خود ادامه میتن. گروه دوم ما گروه کسایی است که برای جلب کمک های خیریه برای افغانستان ترتیب شده. اویده دوستایی که علاقمند کمک های خیریه و رساندن کمک های خیریه برای افغانستان هستند، برای بحث در این مورد میتونند به گروه دوم تشریف ببرند. این گروه توسط دکتر سریا پیکان مدیریت میشه و لینک مشخص از این در چت باکس اینمی زوم اد شده. شما بالای لینک کلیک میکنین و به یک زوم متفاوت میرین. بعد از 45 دقیقه بحث در اونجا همه ما به می گروه برمیگردیم و بعد از برگشتن دوستایی که از هر دو گروه نماینده خود انتخاب کردن در اینجا گزارش های بحث خود با ما شریک خواهد ساختن. او ضرورت است پښتو مو وایم؟
نه که نوینم دوستان دلارسی چت روم ته او الته لینکس ته او په لینکس کې هغه څه بشري مرستو لپاره غواړي څه ووایي دلته دوستان سته استازي سته هغو دې هغه چت لینک خلاص کړي او الته دلارسی او دا نور د پاتې شي.
این دوستایی که علاقمند کمک های بشری و بحث در اون مورد هستن میتونن در چت باکس لینکی که برای زوم بعدی برای اونا آماده شده در اونجا کلیک کنن، به زوم دیگه برن. بعد از 45 دقیقه بحث میتونن دوباره به این زوم بر بگردن و زومی که فعلا ما در او هستیم زوم است که اوی در دوستایی که علاقمند سرمایه گذاری در افغانستان هستن میخواین در این مورد بحث کنن در اینجا میمونن.
پس مقبلار سوبل روم
مهربانی. اوکی.
با پوزش یک بار دیگه اگر دوستای مشکل دارن میتونن پرسان بکنن که اگر مشکل تکنیکی برسه یا سوال در بخش مسائل امی که چگونه انتقال بکنن به دیگه گروپ یا چگونه بانن اگر پیشان روشن نیست میتونن پرسان بکنن که توضیح دوباره برسان داده شود.
دوستان میتونن سوال کنن و یا در چت باکس نوشته کنن سوال خود به هر زبانی که باشه، دری پشتو و انگلیسی. مهربانی کنن. او داسې معلومیږي چې شاید اړتیا چې په پښتو هم خبرې وکم. قدرمن ترابي صاحب دلته دی. دوستانو اوس موږ د کنفرانس دوهمې برخې ته ځو. په دغه برخه کې موږ دوه ګروپونو ته تقسیمیږو. یو ګروپ هغه ګروپ دی چې په افغانستان کې پانګونو په هکله بحث کوي. هغه ګروپ هم دلته پاتې کیږي. 45 دقیقې موږ په دغه موضوع دلته بحث کوو چې څنګه په افغانستان کې پانګونې وکړو او څنګه وکولای شو سرمایه افغانستان ته انتقال کړو. دوهم گروپ چې دی هغه گروپ دی چې بشري مرستې افغانستان ته راجلبوي. نو هغه غړي چې علاقمند دي چې په دې برخه کې خبرې وکړي یا بحث وکړي، نو له هغوی نه هیله کیږي چې په چت باکس کې د بل زوم لینک چې ایښودل سوی دی په هغه زوم لینک کلیک وکړي، بل زوم ته لاړ سي. 45 دقیقې هلته بحث کوي. وروسته له 45 دقیقې نه ټول بیرته په دې ګروپ کې راټولیږو او له هر ګروپ نه یو نفر خپل گزارش لولي چې موږ وپیږو چې په دې ګروپو کې دوی په څه خبرو خبرې کړې دي او بیرته په دې زوم کې راټولیږو او قطعنامه او اختتامیه بلولو. مهرباني وکړئ دوستانو که پوښتنه لرئ پوښتنې په غږیز او یا په ټکسټ ډول موږ سره شریک کړئ.
خواهید میشه که دکتر صاحب عظیمی کار خود شروع بکنن و کار سشن خود و از دوستایی که در اینجا ماندن در حدود 19 نفر هستند. معلوم میشه که اینا علاقمند هستند که در بخش جلب سرمایه گذاری سهم بگیرن. کار خود شروع بکنن.
جناب اکبری صاحب سوال دارن. مهربانی کنید جناب اکبری صاحب سوال شما رو پاسخ بدیم، بعد از او به کار خود آغاز میکنیم.
تشکر خانم بانو زهید. سوال ما به این بود که بعضی از اشتراک کنندگان این کنفرانس ممکن است علاقمند باشه که در هر دو گروپ اشتراک بکنن و سوالاتی داشته باشند در این مورد. اگر راهنمایی کنید ممنون میشم. تشکر.
تشکر از سوال شما جناب اکبری صاحب محترم. هر گروپ را که شما علاقه‌مند هستین زیادتر در او اشتراک کنین. بعد از اینکه 45 دقیقه ختم شد، نماینده‌های هر دو گروپ میان گزارش‌های خودم میخوانند. بعد از اون ما بخش سوال جواب می داشته باشیم که به سوال شما پاسخ خواهد گفتیم. من فکر میکنم که به این طریق هم به واسطه گزارش و سوال جواب میشه که آدم تا اندازه محتوا را در هر دو گروپ از خود بسازه.
تشکر از جوابتان. تشکر.
خواهش میکنم. و فعلا فکر میکنم که مدیریت به جناب دکتر صاحب عظیمی میسپاریم تا اونا این گروپ را که هدفش سرمایه گذاری در افغانستان است مدیریت بفرمایید. دکتر صاحب عظیمی مهربانی کنین.
Thank you so much, Sister Zain, for your kind organizing and astonishing work you put in through. Thank you so much for this hard work. Right, so we are here as to just refresh everyone's mind. Obviously, we remain in this room to discuss furthermore about NERPA. I guess we're going to dive furthermore how NERPA functions and moving forward. I'm going to begin to give a bit of our experience and where it is currently NERPA, and then I'll pass it over to Brother Ash to dive into it furthermore. Then we dive into taking some questions. I believe there will be a question for audience and friends, and have maybe a question they can we can get a chance to.
Dear Dr. Sebazimi, sorry for interrupting. It seems that Mr. Khadim has a question. I think he has a problem going to the group. جناب خادم صاحب محترم
نادم صاحب ببخشید. نادم.
بله.
شما سوال داشتین دستان بلند کرده بودین.
نه من خو به ارتباط انمی موضوعی که شما شریک ساختین به ارتباط این سرمایه گذاری من گپای دارم. اگر باز من کارهایی که کردم برای شما میگم که چی کارا انجام شد. حالا اگر باز برای من نوبت بدین من میشه که در وقت میگه پاره بزنم.
بسیار خوب، با کمال میل ما این کار خود کردیم. زنده باشین. مدیریت گروه جناب عظیمی صاحب محترم دارن. جناب عظیمی صاحب
من برای عظیمی صاحب بالا کردم دست.
مهربانی کنین. جناب عظیمی صاحب شما به صحبتاتون ادامه بدین و در جریان میتونیم بر نادم صاحب وقت بدیم که اونا صحبت کنن در مورد سرمایه.
صحیح. تشکر بسیار از نادم صاحب محترم. حتما انشالله که سوالای دوستایی که می داشته باشن از این خاطر هستیم که پاسخ و جایی که سوال باشه انشالله که جوابای رها کنیم. So I'm turning back to English because we want everybody to understand us, and maybe I will leave them to ask me an English question back. Obviously, we have Brother Ash and also Brother Martin, who are very heavily involved in this astonishing program. Where is NERPA currently? Obviously, we spoke briefly what it is made of and so on, and is where is it now at this stage? Obviously, our recent visit with astonishing member of NERPA has visited with Afghanistan and met all the high member of government, including the Prime Minister Haji Mullah Brother, and Foreign Ministry, and all the ministries that requires to collaborate in this 12th program, which include education ministry and energy sectors, healthcare ministry, and obviously petroleum and mining ministry, which is the core value. So we have sat down with every one of them, and luckily everyone is up for it, because we all tired of having this difficulty life with having a house without light, or a student studying with the candles of today. It's I guess we can now really understand what needs to be done. And I was very, very pleased visiting after nearly 30 years I was away from my country. So coming back, visiting in this scenario and seeing it from the angle being away, grow up from in diaspora countries from a young age, and I see that there's quite a lot of propaganda going on, especially when it comes to not the unity. There's a lot of unity amongst the Afghan community and the people and the willingness. And that provides a lot of energy. And whether the energy is both from the government as well as the actual people inside. And the broader side of it, the diaspora as well, like today we are in together. It's because we care about our country. So that sea energy is there. The incredible sea energy and vision is there. How we embrace it, and obviously that's down to the future, how we move forward. We know there's a lot of mistakes happened in the last 20 years, and those mistakes doesn't need to be repeated. And we have understood well understood about how to not be corrupted in order to be have a successful lifestyle. So going back to Nepal, obviously I will give back the floor to my brother Ash to dive in the technical side. But if there is a question, the reason I'm not diving too much in Nepal in the program side of it, because we had that session a few months back. We already, you guys are aware of it, where we are with Nepal currently with government, and we have signed over 1,030 megawatt energy project, which is covered hydro dam, as well as Zohala Sang, which is coal power plant with the renewable energy as power and solar power. All of them are signed pretty much 95% ready, with the old rates have been agreed, the land has been agreed, the specification has been agreed, the partners has seen it, the proposal has been done, the topography is done, the team has been built, there's an astonishing engineer has been created. We have met the Wali and the Iraq's Wali, and we have created a massive headquarters for capacity building of the Afghan there. So it's not just doing a business, it's in fact we want to do business with capacity building and prosperity of future, and how can we bring the best price back to the country, because at the end of the day, Barishna or DAP will pay for it. And that's what we have achieved. This is our first 110 megawatt solar project is going to kick off officially, but the rest has been done. And the other part, so step by step, we are getting there. The major part is obviously the main role, which is Brother Ash can talk about monetizing it, and through a systematic and high strategic of banking on with the help of international. And I must say, India is the one of being in UK. In City of London, the toppest bankers are the Indians in City of London. You know, so we know that we have brothers and as excellent brothers, which is close neighbor to us for centuries, and the love and brotherhood is there. So Brother Ashes took the astonishing steps and coming up and said, we will need to take our little brother's hand as Afghanistan's nation to really bring it to the international banking level to be able to do what they need to do on their economy. And then again, thanks to Brother Ash, and I give you the floor to Brother Ash after this, after the Brother Ash is speaking, then we're gonna dive for some of the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Azimi. The forum is open here for us to exchange more details of what we are trying to do. So the solution works very simply. Is this that we do have these natural resources which we are monetizing in the process. And in the process, while we monetize them, we actually take the support of the local banks as well as the international banks through a proper process being accepted by both, which is not easy to achieve because, as you know, local banks don't have the rating. The international banks do not want to work in Afghanistan. So we bridge the gap in a certain specific way. Again, it's a much larger discussion how we have achieved it, but yes, we have achieved it. And with that process, we have the support of the government really making sure that we can actually present the natural resources to be monetized and converted into actual real money, real dollars or real currency for the government of Afghanistan to work on it. That's a brief one, but again, I would like to keep the forum open because I'm sure if anybody here who has any financial or banking background may ask, or even a commercial background may ask me questions. The short summary, as I said, we have bridged the gap in the banking world, and we have come up with a solution that's been accepted by both the sides, including even a central bank of one of the large economies. So to that level, we have gone, and we have their acceptances to our solution. They've in fact appreciated our solutions to say, yes, that's the only way we can actually work on it. I'm sure if any typical business cycle you will look at, you will never really have the money in the pocket spare to do something. You have to raise capital. So when you are allocated a mine, as an example, after you receive the mining allocation, you have to be able to raise capital on the value of the offtake of the mine or the value of the perceived value of the resources below the ground. Now, for you, if you are a businessman here sitting, or if you are working with an investor or a mining company to come into Afghanistan and doing it, earlier this was a problem because the fact is this, that anybody will get an allocation. Getting mining allocation in Afghanistan is not very difficult on the basis of the collaterals that people produce. But once you have that allocation, if you are not able to raise capital, that allocation sits on the side. By the way, this is not a problem only in Afghanistan. Just to give you all a comfort, even in developed economies like Australia and all the countries that you can think of, US, Canada, everywhere you can talk about, the fact is this, that there are lots of mining allocations and people are not able to raise capital against those allocations to be able to actually do the mining operations. The only more added difficulty for Afghanistan is that the banking system or the monetization process by the banks was, and it at least till now, was not working. So as an example, if you had a mining allocation and went to a bank like HSBC, they will say, oh, we don't take that piece of paper. We don't see your value of the assets. We can't really give you money, or we can't lend you money, or we can't give you money to go and start doing mining operations there. In simple terms, that was a problem. Now what we have done is we worked with in a system, in a way, through a process and designed a solution that we have that particular problem solved, that we can actually go and take these mining allocations through a process. And that process allows that bridging between the banking system in Afghanistan and the international banks, who will actually accept that and actually provide capital for people to go and do mining operations. So I will pause there, and I will definitely want some questions there, if you don't mind.
Mr. Ash.
Let me
Ash.
briefly not explain all of it, what you said, but briefly said my participants, brothers and sisters, that what you said and what was the purpose of this session. نادم صاحب برای شما کاملا وقت دادم میشه، یک جای تشویش نیست. یک دفعه ما برنامه
نه میخواستم به آش یک سوال بدم همین لحظه
چیزی که فعلا ما شما متمرکز میشیم سر خود برنامه نیرپاس که خود کنفرانس با مو هدف تنظیم شده و هر وقت که باز در این مسئله ما شما کدام سوال نداشتیم باز میریم سر اقدامات دیگه در جلب سرمایه گذاری و دوستایی که فعال هستن. خب بفرمایید اولین سوال از نادم صاحب است.
Yes, I have a question. I had meeting with some traders. The SWIFT system in Afghanistan is not SWIFT. That's they are complaining about the import of goods. They come 25% expensive than the normal because they pay commission to the exchange center in Kabul, and then they transfer to Dubai. From Dubai again another commission they pay. That's what big difference that we should government consider, or I don't know how to solve this problem, SWIFT problem, this big problem. Thank you.
So thank you for asking that question. That's basically a transfer system issue. And as you know, the sanctions are primarily in the SWIFT only. So you're spot on there. That's where really the actual action of the US sanction is affecting Afghanistan. But the fact of the matter is there are ways in which these specific problems can be solved. And there are a couple of options that we have. One option is to really route it through an alternative to SWIFT network, legally fully compliant, because SWIFT is a private system, is not a government system of any country, not even US. So we should not be forced to take our transfer system through SWIFT. So there are alternatives to SWIFT systems already in place which can be utilized. And that's why we have created the whole framework. In India, as an example, we have Nostro Vostro. Similarly, there are more similar systems around, basis depending on what part of trade you are in. So where are you importing from or exporting to, Mr. Khalil, if I may address your name correctly? Is that Mr. Khalil?
Yeah, it's correct. Khalil
Okay.
Nogin.
Yes. So where are you importing from or exporting to, please? Can you tell me?
I'm
You're
not
on
because
mute.
my friends traders, they said from China, from Kazakhstan, from Russia, from these countries. This is a big problem. Just the exchange center in Kabul, they do transaction. And not
So,
banks.
yeah,
Through
if it's not you, my friend, let them come back with exact specifics, because I do hear a lot of loose conversations. I'm not saying you are loose. Your friends will say a lot of things, but ideally, maybe another specific discussion. We are very open here. So organize with ourselves as NERPA team. Here we have Mr. Razimi, Mr. Taj, and of course, all of us available. Do bring him into a forum and let's see how we can help him. Because the reason why I asked that question, and please don't take me any otherwise, is this: that if we know where is the actual export or import coming and going to, we can find solutions specific for his scenario. But we do have alternatives to SWIFT. We do have, even today, we have alternatives to SWIFT available in the world financial ecosystem. It's people's mental blocks that people have, that, oh, it has to be bought or sold only in US dollars. And okay, even if people have that mentality, it can still be solved. There is a way to do a currency conversion hedging. If somebody does that, you can buy and sell in any other currency, which allows transfers without having to go through SWIFT. So I just gave you a solution. It's a technical solution I've just given you. If you haven't understood it, it's okay. We can discuss more details, but that's all you need to do. You need to actually transact in a currency that's not forced to go through SWIFT. And for you to, because you're doing your actual trade in dollars, you just need to hedge between that currency and US dollars. That's it. That's the solution, gentlemen. It will work. Anybody who likes to challenge that solution, I'm aim for a game. Let's start it.
Mr. Ash, I have a question.
Yes, please, my friend. How are you, Sharizi?
I'm okay.
Shirzai. Yeah, good. Wahid is a better way. Yes, please.
Yeah, Ash brother.
You always
Actually,
look handsome in your photos, Mr. Wahid. Your photos are so... Come up
this
on a
is me.
camera. Yes.
Mr. Ash, I am asking regarding the NERFA program in Afghanistan. So, do you have any feasibility study or any survey regarding Afghanistan? So, because as I know, the program is very big and you are covering a lot of sectors and at the same program. So, there should be a very proper feasibility study for the program. So, do you have any feasibility study till now on how it is?
We have done and I will let Mr. Azimi also talk about it. But just to give you a bit of a context, Mr. Wahid, I want to see your beautiful face. Come on the camera, please, if you don't mind. You're on mute now. Are you there?
I'm using phone. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, so yes, Mr. Wahid, we do have feasibility. Yeah, that's okay, Mike. That's all right. I was just having a bit of a joke here, but there are feasibility studies around specifics that we can talk about. So, as an example, if we talk about feasibility study around about mining, just within mining itself, there is a feasibility study for each of those commodities, and we, of course, need to make sure that we specifically discuss those each commodities. So as an example, if you do gold doesn't need the same supply chain as iron ore. So the feasibility study for gold is going to be quite different as compared to iron ore. So that's one example. Similarly, between various 12, I'll use the word pillars or verticals. So even among the 12 verticals, one of the verticals is agriculture. Agriculture is a completely different ballgame. So the feasibility study in agriculture is quite different from what it is in mining. So we, of course, have been building that feasibility study over the last some years, and you can actually have specific discussions on specific industry or specific vertical. We will open, we can have a one-on-one discussion on that too. So as an example, you may come to us and say, hey, we want to do coal power project. What's the feasibility study around it? We can have a discussion around it because we do have, as you know, Afghanistan does have coal, but does a coal power station really stand a chance today? If it does, how? What are the difficulties? As an example, supply chain, big area. Machinery, another big area. And we just talked about raising capital, but in reality, in addition to raising capital, supply chain is a very big area that we are really focusing on.
Absolutely. You're spot on, Brother Ash, in relation to Wei John's question. Yes, the feasibility we have industry by industry as well. And believe me, when it comes to even agriculture, we have done fantastic studies with the Kush-Tepe Canal. We have all the documents and so on. And as I said, we have managed to get access with the help of friends and those individuals that who really wants to bring some impact to the country. They managed to give us some of the archive data and which we have. And above all, the key part, I don't know, Brother Martin is somehow he dropped, or if he is.
He has come back. Brother Martin has come back. Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. I mean, he knows, for example, Brother Martin he knows the person, his name is David Miller. For example, he was involved in during 2010 and 11 of geologist report for the USGS report. So therefore, we have the actual data with the help of the right contact and data. And obviously, the current government is very helpful as well. They're collaborating with us. So when it comes to a thorough study, we did really spend a lot of time, and we also have a help of international partners and friends in this program that is really helping us, like Brother Ash, Brother Tracy, Martin Gracie, and other friends. We have extended friends as well who really bringing unique touches. And I must emphasize, NIRPA not just only bringing economic or financial solution, like Brother Ash has mentioned, it brings the technology, machineries, capacity building, all of that comes with it. So that's why it's just not just business oriented. It does have a humanitarian touch to it, because all of that program is, to be honest, it's humanitarian. So it's for the betterness of our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan. And obviously, whether that's transportation to do, whether that's to do climate changes, or to have some impact on the healthcare or pharmaceuticals for our sisters to really provide a new industry for where they're pushing a 70 to 80% of women impact and focusing on industrial development of pharmaceutical. And we got one of the best, we got, we can dive one by one, but for example, pharmaceutical, a lot of people think that we don't have a lot. I will argue we got opium. Opium is being sold to the black market. Why can we not bring this in a proper fashion or in a right market with being partner with international communities with the help of our strategic country like India helping us. And the nice thing, maybe the other country may not going to help, but we can count on country like India as a strategic partners that they're really bringing. We've seen in history during the dark days of Afghanistan, and the only country has never took advantage of vulnerability of our country or the people. They never took any advantages. And we know that, and that's why we are Bai and his brothers. So, and that's why I'm so confident. And the hope is there, the willingness is there, as long as we expect, especially diaspora, puts hands together, and we got the blessing, we can pull this off together. Obviously, they will have a lot of difficulties. We already had a lot of difficulties, and believe me, it's not like we came very fresh and we didn't do nothing. We have been doing so much every day. The team is working day and night, and we are dedicated and committed, and we're going to be continue committed. And we need the help, and we need everybody's help. This is national interest movement. This is we want to bring housing system for the country. We want to bring healthcare system. For example, in the UK, since I grew up, I've got NHS. NHS is the first healthcare system in the world, you know, and it's astonishing, absolutely astonishing. Why can we not have that? Why can we have these fake medicines coming from Pakistan by I'm afraid, by our own Afghan business, internal business guys that who wants to bring this poor quality feed it to our people, and that's why no one's getting fit. So we want to tackle all these areas. These areas is not 1 year or 2 years project. This is take a long-term commitment, and that's why we're asking the government to be on board. And we're not interested in politics. We're purely here to develop the country, create jobs, bring lights to the houses, bring more system to the education system. For example, AI, artificial intelligence, with the education we have, and we've been firm with the government as well. I must be honest, because when we met with the ministry and we mentioned that is part of this is not just only for guys that can give you the software, not for women or exclude our women. So we have been a voice of our nation. It's the same thing. We know that. And we have informed that if you want this software, it's not going to cost you anything. We will give you guys up to 1 million laptops as well on top of it. But there, the term and condition has to be accessed for both male and female. And so it's stuff like this. And obviously government never say no to us and never decline to us, listening to us and welcoming to us, obviously checking and back and forth. We are visiting again in July, coming back to Afghanistan to take it furthermore. And we're meeting hopefully with the Supreme Leader to discuss this and get his blessing and from that angle as well, because this is not 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 people. This is everyone's program, and everyone is. This is a nation program which can provide a prosperity, and we diaspora have the responsibility to bring those important points to make them to understand, and which we have done phenomenally well. And I'm proud of each one of you guys are here and giving us the opportunity to give this heart-to-heart speaking and really inviting everyone to this cause of initiative for the people of Afghanistan. And I hope if there's any question, obviously in your service, we have groups as well. If in future interest is there, we can always invite you guys on our day-to-day groups as well. Yeah, so thank you. Martin, if there's anything you want to...
What about Mr. Wahid? Has he left now, or I can't
He's
see
here.
him?
He's here.
Mr.
I'm
Wahid.
here. Yes, brother. Yes,
Sorry,
brother.
sorry, brother, I missed you. Did you get the sufficient response? If you haven't got, please contact further on specific feasibilities. We want to make sure that we work collectively as a team, and you have such a wonderful team as well. So we are all connected through NERPA program. It's a movement, brother. It's not a company. It's not it's not one individual or individuals. It's a movement. It's economic
Exactly.
reforms.
Exactly.
And
I'm
you
in
are
a close contact with Dr. Azimi.
perfect. Yeah, that's good. So let's keep plowing it. But yes, any time you think we could do more, let's do it collectively. So that's great. Thank you so much, Wahid. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, Martin, do you want to add some things?
Yeah, I missed a lot of the conversation. It's my internet here. It's really, really bad. So I've no idea what you talked about really. But Ash just said it all there. It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement, and it's a movement for, with, and on behalf of the Afghan people. It's all about the Afghan people. We know all the problems over there, and this is why we've set NERPA up to. Not necessarily give charity, but it's to the old adage: don't give them fish, teach them how to fish, and this is what NERPA's all about. But it's releasing all the assets, all the Afghanistan is a tremendous wealthy country. Don't let like Ash said earlier, the Chinese or whoever take it away to make their profits on it. This is for Afghan people, and with those profits, we can move mountains, for want of a better phrase. And once we start on this project, this program, NERPA will be in a position more of influence, let's say, so we can start spreading our wings within and start looking at the serious social problems that they've got there as well, which really need addressing. I mean, that's the reason I went back, really, is initially to what's happening with women there. We've got to sort that out. So that's why we went over. But in order for the government to take us seriously, we've got to put ourselves in a position of influence, and that's what we're doing. But you can't do this overnight. It's slowly influence how education works, how women works. All this, you can't do it overnight, but we've put ourselves into a pretty strong position now where in the future we'll be able to make those influences slowly and carefully.
Thank you very much, Martin. If you don't mind, I would like to say some words in my one mother tongue, and
please,
to feel in a different area, in different sphere, I mean. تشکر از اشتراک دوستا در ورکشاپ جلب سرمایه گذاری ها یا سکشن جلب سرمایه گذاری. اول خب واقعا قابل قدردانی است که تعداد زیاد از شرکت کننده های کنفرانس علاقمند بودن که در این ورکشاپ سهم بگیرن و یه علاقمندی هر افغان نشان میده برای بیرون رفت افغانستان از وضعیت متاسفانه مساعد کنونی اقتصادی و مسائل دیگه طبعا در پالیش هست. دوستایی که در کنار به خاطر نجات افغانستان از این وضعیت خواستن که یک برنامه بزرگ اقتصادی رو راه اندازی بکنن با این هدف که اگر مسائل تغییرات سیاسی و دیگه مسائل مطرح باشه در شرایط فعلی بنابر عدم علاقمندی فردی یا عدم امکانات قدر زیاد نمیتونه که راه حل بنیادی باشه. راه حل بنیادی در یک جامعه طبعا تغییرات بزرگ اقتصادی است و رشد و توسعه اقتصادی است که بر مردم زمینه کار، درآمد و زندگی نسبتا نرمال ایجاد شود. و طبعا این برنامه اقتصادی میتونه شده باشه که این بدور از هر گونه گرایش های سیاسی و تمایلات سیاسی هم نگاه بکنه. هر حکومتی که در یک جامعه باشه میتونه که ضرورت داره بر رشد اقتصادی. خوشبختانه دوستایی که تا به اکنون با شما روی برنامه نیرپا صحبت کردن، توضیحات دادن، اینا شیستن باید یک برنامه وسیع بزرگ اقتصادی را در 12 بخش، اجالتا در 12 بخش که تقریبا 80% ما گفتم میتونم ساحه زندگی جامعه را احاطه میکنه، از انرژی و آبیاری و زراعت و معادن و صحت عامه، معارف و همه مسائل در بر میگیره، اهتمام میکنه و اگر در آینده زمین ها مساعد بود میتونه که انکشاف بیشتر پیدا بکنه. با روی هر برنامه به صورت بسیار دقیق و علمی واقعا کار صورت گرفته. منابعی که از استفاده شده منابع قابل اعتبار بوده. به طور مثال ما در بخش معادن افغانستان خدمتتان عرض بکنم که منابعی که روی منابع زیرزمینی افغانستان سرش اتکا شده، دو گزارش بسیار معتبر جیولوژیکی است که یکیش از طرف جیولوژیست‌های افغانستان به شرکت شوروی ها در زمانش تهیه شده بود که از معتبرترین راپورهای جیولوژیکی است و دومش یویس سرویس است که بر مبنای امو مطالعات جیولوژیکی قبلا صورت گرفته بود. اینا مطالعات خود تقریبا انکشاف دادن گفتم میتونیم. اما در واقعیت اگه شما داخل اردو گزارش شوین تفاوت‌های نودر هم میتونین پیدا بکنین و نوعی علتش هم تفاوتش در اونمو تکنولوژی پیشرفته در قسمت سروی و جستجوی معادن و تثبیت ذخایر و متدایی که باید بهره برداری صورت بگیره در این زمینه‌ها شاید پیدا بکنین. اما در اصل مطالعات تقریبا همون مطالعات است که در گذشته صورت گرفته. این بزرگنمایی نیست. این ما فقط خواستم که براتون ثابت بسازم که تمامی مطالعات بر مبنای اسناد دقیق علمی صورت گرفته. بنان تشویش در مورد از اینکه بسیار هوایی باشه و این بسیار خیالی باشه، تشویش در اینجا وجود نداره. یکی از راه‌های اصلی و قابل اطمینان برای از اینکه تحقق این برنامه بتونه به نفع افغانستان تمام شود است که زیر شعاره، ببینید توجه بکنید، زیر شعاره از افغانها توسط افغانها و برای افغانها این کار پیش برده میشه. از افغانها به چی معنا؟ که از تمام ریسورس های افغانستان چی زیر زمین است و چی روی زمین است استفاده صورت بگیره توسط کی؟ توسط خود افغانها و توسط افغانها بهره برداری شود، غنی سازی شود، تولید شود، فراورده های تولیدی با وجود بیاید و به بازار عرضه شود و این توسط افغانها و برای کی؟ برای خود افغانها مفادش برسه. ما فکر میکنم که تحقق یا عملی ساختن این فرمول از عهده باید وظیفه تمام افغانها باشه و ما مطمئن هستم که دوستایی که در این کنفرانس شرکت کردن یقینا با این طرز نگرش هماهنگی میکنن. خب مسئله سرمایه گذاری ها مطرح است که ما در این کنفرانس خواستیم که جلب سرمایه گذاری چی بکنیم. سرمایه گذاری که تکنولوژی بیایه و حتی متخصصینه که در شرایط معین نیاز است بیایه و اینا فقط اجرتشان از وقتی که معادن یا دیگه منابع زیر زمینی و روی زمینی افغانستان و بهره برداری سپرده میشه، پس دوباره بر از اینا قابل تادیه است. یعنی اونا به حساب سرمایه گذارها نمیتونن که خود مالک یا سهمدار دائمی همین برنامه یا پروژه اقتصادی بشمارن. خب طبعا مسائل اشتراک یا شرکت های سهامی و چند ملیتی و اینا مسائل کاملا بحث بعدی است که او را آدم نمیتونه به صورت مطلق منتفی بکنه، اما در برنامه نیرپا فقط همین مسائل مطرح است. ما فقط خواستم که به صورت بسیار مختصر از مسائل خدمتتون به زبان خود توصیف بدم. اگر سوال بیشتر وجود داشته باشه ما و دیگه دوستا در خدمتتون هستیم. یک مطلب در آخر باعث تبصره میخواستم عرض بکنم که شاید نادم صاحب هنوز هم انتظار بکشه که انتظارشان ما در نظر میگیریم، چون کنفرانس برای توزیع نیروها سازماندهی شده. اگر ما تمام توجه خود و وقت خود روی از این متمرکز میکنیم، دوستا باید این مسئله را درک بکنن. اگر سوال در این مورد وجود نداشته باشه که ما فقط بریم به طرف جمع کردن کار سیشن خود و از نادم صاحب خواهش میکنیم که گفتنی های خود ارائه بکنن. بفرمایید نادم صاحب.
خب گپی است که من میخواستم به ارتباط این پلانی که ما شما داشتیم به خاطر امروز کنفرانس، یعنی ما از چند ماه پیش پروگرام بود که باید این کار بکنیم. اما به تاسیس امی و ارتباطاتی که با دولت قزاقستان با بخش اقتصادی سفارتش بود و با ما تماس گرفتن، ما تانستیم که ما به کار افغانستان آمدم و ماه اپریل معاون صدر اعظم قزاقستان کابل آمد و بالاخره متخصصین جیولوژیش هم آمدن نورستان رفتن، چیزا معادن اینا کار داشتن، کیفیت اون معادن را اینا تثبیت کردن و مورد قبولشان قرار گرفت و بالاخره ما تانستیم یک قرارداد را آماده بسازیم که هم قیمت مورد قبولشان شد و هم کیفیت و بالاخره اینا سر مسئله لوجستیک و ترانسپورت کار میکنن. یک موضوع شد که به یک موفقیت است ان شاء الله که کار پیش میره. و دوم مسئله بود که دولت قزاقستان خواهش داشتن و ما تانستم که معین هوانوردی را با سفارت با سکرتر اولش بشانم که یا یک پرواز مستقیم را بین کابل و الماتا آریانا را میخواهند که ایجاد کنند. این مثلا سرش کار صورت گرفت. و مسئله سومی بود که دولت قزاقستان احساس کرد که افغان ها از ناحیه تداوی برای رفتن به پاکستان به بسیار مشکلات اینا گرفتار هستند، از ناحیه ویزه، از ناحیه آزار و اذیت یا پا بازیرم. بالاخره از روی از هم کار صورت گرفت که یا یک تیمی از قزاقستان شفاخانه‌ای را اینا اونجا سرش کار کردن و کلینیکایی که اینا بتانن بسیار مجهزن و افغان ها رو تداوی کنن. یک مسئله و جای برای بودو باش از اینا، از طرفی هم دادن ویزه برای مریضای افغانستان. فقط یک تشویشی که نداشتنی بود که مریضا که میرن اونجا گرگا شیشته که یا چطور یاره ببرن بالاخره به بانی از این که شما رو به کشورها روان میکنیم یا گم نشن. این مسئله رو یا تشویش داشتن که بازم گفتن که افغان‌ها یک کار بکنن که یا که از میدان میان دخولی میخوره پاسپورتاشون بگیرن، اینا رو در هتل مراقبشان باشن که بعد از صدایی پس بگردن. یعنی گپایی بود که ما سرش کار کردیم به ارتباط اینمی کاری که ما شما پلان داشتیم در حصه سرمایه گذاری. تشکر.
بسیار زیاد تشکر جناب نادم صاحب، شما کار بزرگ انجام دادین. طبعا کلش به خاطر بهبود وضع زندگی وطنداران ما شماست و بیرون رفت از مشکلات جاری که گریبانگیرشان هست. هر اقدام را که یا هر قدم را که در راه بهبود وضع زندگی وطنداران ما شما در این شرایط برداشته شود واقعا قابل قدر است. تشکر از گزارشتان. دوستان ما فکر میکنم که اگر دیگه سوال نباشه ما سیشن خود که اون وقت چون تقریبا تکمیل شده، گرچه 15 دقیقه پسانتر ما شروع کرده بودیم، حال 45 دقیقه پورا میشه. بسته میکنیم و میریم به کنفرانس اصلی و ما جای نمیریم. شما چون مثل صاحب خانه وارد در اموجه هستیم که قرار داریم، از دیگه دوستا خواهش خواهد کردیم که ما رو جاین بکنن و طبعا در اونجا کنفرانس میزبان اصلی کنفرانس بانو درخانه پیش میبرن. مهربانی کنین بانو درخانه.
تشکر از شما مفسر ارجمند. صحبت‌های بسیار موثر بود که من اینجا شنیدم و معلومات بسیار خوب شما عرضه کردین. من منتظر هستم تا میمونای محترم ما از تیم دیگه به اینجا بپیوندن تا ما و شما با هم یک جا با گزارشی که توسط نماینده های هر تیم از جمله جناب شما و جناب دکتر سیب سرایا پیکان پیش میشه با اونا گوش فرا بدیم. صرف میخواستم معلومات داشته باشم که گزارش شما به زبان انگلیسی است یا به زبان دری؟
ما فکر میکنم گزارش جناب عظیمی صاحب را میکنن به زبان انگلیسی و اگر نیاز باشه که باز ترجمهش میکنیم.
بسیار خوب. جناب
علاوه کنم چون کنفرانس به انگلیسی بود به صورت عمومی، از او خاطر به زبان انگلیسی ما فکر میکنم که مناسب تر خواهد باشه.
فکر خوب است. جناب عظیمی صاحب حتما آمادگی برای ارائه گزارش دارن دیگه. ما منتظر میمونم تا دوستا تشریف بیارن و بتانیم مشترکاً و گزارش های هر دو تیم گوش بدیم.
خیلی خوب.
شما بتونین از فرصتی که دارین، چون جناب عظیمی صاحب علاقمند صحبت در مورد نیرپا بودن، اونا معلومات لازم را که میخواستن بتن اگه اینجا شریک بسازن و ادامه بتن به صحبت. خود بسیار خوب است.
عظیمی صاحب.
بله، صدای من دارین دوستان محترم؟ بسیار معذرت که من یک پرابلم تکنیکال
یکم
داشتم.
مدت نمیکنین از میسر از گروپ دیگه هنوز نامدن کلگی.
بله سایز
گزارش نمیخوانن مگر صرف میخواین ادامه بتن به صحبت های خود که تا وقتی که اعضای تیم دیگه به ما میپیوندن.
تشکر از این دوستای محترم. دیگه این سوالایی که ما در بخش کاری داریم مهم است که بخش مهم دیگر رو یادآوری شود که بعضی در افغانستان تنها اینوستران هستن. طبعا بعضی چیزایی که نیرپا فوکس کردن در قسمت گرانت هایی که مملکت ها برای مثلا کلایمت چینج دارن یا سستینبیلیتی دارن و غیره، اینجا افغانستان یک کیس قوی و مهم داره. مثلا ما توپ 26 بگویم یا اولین کاپی که در پاریس شروع شده بود، واقعا ما ندیدم افغانستان و حتی در اسکاتلند هم که شد ندیدیم. آخرش بخیرم گزان که بود در قزاقستان دوستا آمدن، ولی ما بسیار دیگه قسمت پروگرام ها یا بدیده های بزرگ او حق و حق ماست از افغان. و من فکر میکنم 3-4 بیلیون تمام ما کلایمت چینج داریم دلار. 3-4 بیلیون دلار متاسفانه لابیر خوب نداریم یا سفیستیکیتد افرایی که پیپر ورک زیر کنن یا میکیس زیر سمسی و انشالله اینمی پلتفرم کوشش میکنه که خانه خالی هایی که برای فعلا در جهان دیده میشه چیل گلوبال استیج global warming باشه، humanitarian sustainability باشه. Even as far as BRICS country, I would say we have encouraged our government to join the BRICS country because we want to be neutral on when it comes to economic. We are friends with everyone. We don't have no enemy whatsoever, and we're tired of enemies. We want to trade, and we want to trade with everybody. But into schedule that provide a solution for the nation, not just helping a few people or a small group of. No, it has to really provide for our people, and that's the aim of NERPA. We believe NERPA has a responsibility for both Afghan diasporas to bring them on the table as well as the Afghan inside. We need to merge together, and we all know that Afghans are slightly, and I have to admit myself, from the angle of education, when I went down to Afghanistan, I saw that we lack of massively. So hopefully when we open back to normal days of school, we're gonna have to study twice as hard as our neighbors, and we need to have a solution for that, which luckily again we have some fantastic capacity building. For instance, we talk about technology of how we can be able to empower our both male and female energies, because Afghanistan currently is lack of skills workers. And this softwares that we have, it will give you one of the best coders, one of the best engineers, one of the best healthcare sectors. Within a very short time, within 9 months, we can be able to provide you one of strong engineer or engineer in hydro dam. So you got mines and you don't have an expert mines. You don't have a lab system of mining and all this stuff. So we want to make sure that tackle all these areas, and with the help of you guys and those who are abroad with diaspora connectivity and being a huge influence in our community, and we admire you. And now is the real work is kicking off with holding each other's hand and pull this dark days of Afghanistan from these disaster days. We can pull our nation out, and that is the aim, and that is our national interest. And doesn't matter what's my background, what's your background, we all one in one hand, and being in one hand, it can only takes you to prosperity. So I want to further more time. If there is any question, in the meantime, maybe from the humanitarian group, we also, as I said, NERPA is not just only business; it's a healthy business. Therefore, a humanitarian is the center part of that. So, if there is any question from any member of the staff before we come to a remarkable resolution, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
ډاکټر صاحب فضل الرحمن بل ټیم دلته نه راولئ؟
بل ټیم راغلی دی. ډاکټر صاحب پیکان کولی شي راپور وړاندې کړي.
اوکې، ښه، زه به پیل کوم. Nice to have you all back here. I hope you all had a very fruitful discussion in your groups. دوستای محترم، بسیار خوش هستم که همه را دوباره در اینجا دارم. من انتظار دارم که نماینده هر گروه گزارش خود با ما شریک بسازند تا ما بدانیم در گروهشان سر کدام موضوعات بحث شده. از گروهی که برای جلب سرمایه‌گذاری های از گروهی که برای جلب کمک های بشردوستانه برای افغانستان آماده شده بود، دکتر صاحب سوریا پیکان قرار است با ما گزارش شریک بسازند. من از دکتر صاحب محترمانه تقاضا میکنم که گزارش بحث گروه جلب کمک های بشری به افغانستان با ما شریک بسازند.
بسیار زیاد تشکر جناب ذهین صاحب. احترامات دوباره و گروه حمایت های بشری که تعداد 21 تن در اونجا اشتراک کرده بود و هم از نهادهای بسیار مهم بودن. همونطور که ما شما میدانیم دولت ها نمیتونن بدون نهادها و ارگانیزیشن ها کار را بکنن، همین قسم حکومت ها هم نمیتونن. بنابراین در اینجا نهادهای بسیار مهمه حضور یافتن که هر کدام خود معرفی کردن و فعالیت های خود بر ما شریک کردن که از او جمله میتونیم نام بگیریم. در اینجا Global Institute for Rehabilitation است، Bureau for Right Based for Development، دیوا خان Trust Foundation، افغان Global Diaspora Council، Orphanage Care افغانستان و همچنان افغان Network for Social Help، Rehabilitation for Solidarity for Afghanistan، Sweden، Shakila Foundation Afghan، Walls Association in Australia and سولی او بیارغبانی بنسط به افغانستان که و همچنان نهاد طلایه‌داران فردا که در عرصه سرمایه گذاری و حمایت های بشری کار میکنه، هر کدام از فعالیت های خود در اینجا گفتن و بدون شک ما میدونیم که اینمی نهادها بدون سرمایه گذاری و بدون داشتن حمایت های مالی فعالیت هایی را که در پروگرام خود دارن پیش رفتن نمیتونن. مثلا هر کدام از اینا در عرصه های علمی، در عرصه های تعلیم و تربیت، حمایت های بشری، کمک به فقرا، بیوه ها، یتیم ها، مکتب سازی، در این راستا هر کدام فعالیت های بسیار زیاد مهمه داشتن که هر کدام از اینا سالهای بسیار زیاد در افغانستان کار کردن و هنوز هم با امی پکیج و امی برنامه های قوی میخواین که در داخل افغانستان فعالیت داشته باشن تا بتانیم وضعیت فعلی را که ما شما بررسی کردیم و میدانیم که وضعیت بشری در افغانستان بسیار زیاد وخیم است و مخصوصا در عرصه صحت، در قسمت اطفال، زنان، در این عرصه همه آماده فعالیت هستند و آرزو داریم که گروه سرمایه گذاری این پیشنهادات در نظر بگیرن و از همه مهمتر شغلزایی برای جوانانی که در افغانستان هستند و گروه هایی که دوباره داخل افغانستان میشن مهاجرین، بر از اینا کمک های را اینا در اختیارشان قرار بدن تا این نهادها بتونن به امکانات بهتر در داخل افغانستان فعالیت بکنن. تشکر از شما.
تشکر از شما دکتر سیب پیکان گرامی. And now I would like to invite Dr. Azimi to inform us about the discussion they had in their group. Dr. Saib Azimi, platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Sister Zain. Yes, the room was a very fruitful discussion as the participants of between 22 to 23 sometimes. So it was fruitful because we dive into NERPA furthermore, giving a furthermore clarification and especially further explained it by Brother Ash, how the monetization of in-ground asset works and how the banking works and where is NERPA in that climate of banking world, and which was some excellent news being shared and a completion of NERPA when it comes to banking world or financial world. And I hope that the team fully understood that was a very important part. Alongside that, we had a question from the team or from the listeners whether there is enough documentation exists and always a thorough studies being done in for this particular cause of or initiative movements. So all has been answered, and obviously the answer was yes, and we do have comprehensive, and the paperwork is being legit from different areas, as Mr. Taj has explained it, when it comes to geologist survey report. The dates comes from going back to Russia time all the way to USGS report, and alongside that, Brother Martin has explained how dedicated network across and that area of geologist sectors that he has, and he can be able to reach that. And yeah, so that was the fruitful, and I think obviously there's a lot more to discuss, but we left the room without everybody, all the participants was satisfied. There were no question whatsoever, except that we had one question by Mr. Nadeem, who are also in mining sectors. He is functioning, or his friends functioning. He had some trouble on transportation, which we advised him that we can help him or advise him or guide him through as long as they can share with us the detail of that issue. Other than that, it's all positive, and all I can just say, this is a time for nation to put hands together. This is a time for us to show we are all one, and this is a diaspora's time to take the hands of in Afghanistan. So we have further a lot of responsibility than others. And I thank you, each one of you guys that put so much effort, especially Sister Zaheen she put phenomenal work, and the rest of the team, and Professor Sanak Zaisab and Mr. Taj, and His Excellency Mr. Ashnaf Saib. And I thank everyone on behalf of NERPA. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Dr. Azimi. And now I am pleased to invite Mr. Dur Mohammad Oshna, the President of Afghan Global Diaspora Council in the National and International Foundation for Afghanistan Reconciliation, to share his insights and perspective on today's conference. The platform is yours. Dr. Oshna, please.
Thank you very much. Dear ladies, gentlemen, and guests, thank you very much for joining us at the end of this conference. Today, we had important and helpful talks about many issues that affect the people of Afghanistan. Your ideas and suggestions, especially about investment and helping people in need, show that we all care and want to make a positive difference. Now it is time to turn these ideas into really actions. As we will know, Afghanistan needs investment quickly. Projects like NERPA can help grow the economy and make life better for the people. It is also very important that Afghan investors and charity groups outside the country support humanitarian work inside Afghanistan. Their help is key to solve an urgent problem in building a better future. We also need to work closely with the Afghan Global Diaspora Council, especially on projects that create jobs like the on-site White Scholar Charity Foundation. We will continue to plan future conference where we can meet in person and talk more deeply about these important topics. Thank you again for being part of this event. I wish you all success and happiness. درنو عزتمنو دوستان د نن ورځې په کنفرانس کې ستاسو فعال ګډون د دې خبرې څرګند ثبوت دی چې موږ او تاسو د افغانستان د اقتصادي پرمختګ د خلکو لپاره د کار پیدا کولو او د فقر او بېوزلۍ له منځه وړلو لپاره ژمن یو. موږ په دې لاره کې د عملي ګامونو اخیستو هوډ لرو. هغه بحثونه ژمنې چې د نن ورځې په کنفرانس کې په ځانګړې توګه پانګونې په برخه کې وشوې د پام وړ دي. په ځانګړې توګه هغه پروګرام چې د نیرپا لخوا وړاندې شو که د عملي کېدو زمینه ورته برابره شي نو په هېواد کې به ژر اقتصادي پرمختګ راشي او د خلکو په ژوند کې به اقتصادي او ټولنیز مثبت بدلون رامنځته شي. همداراز د هغو ټولو دوستانو بشري احساس د درناوي وړ دی چې خپلې اندېښنې د افغانستان د بشري وضعیت په اړه شریکې کړې. د بهر میشتو افغانانو نړیوالې شورا د افغانستان د بیا رغونې د ملي او نړیوال بنسټو په همکارۍ د ښکلا د خیري مؤسسې له لارې داسې پروژې پر مخ وړي چې له مخې بیکار خلکو ته د کار زمینه برابریږي. په دې برخې د پروژو د عملي کولو لپاره ستاسو نورو مرستندویو موسسو او ملي پانګوالو همکارانو ته اړتیا ده. د نن ورځې په بشري اړخ په کمیسیون کې په ګروپ کې دا وړاندیز وشو چې دغه خیري موسسې به یې ټوله تر یوه چتر لاندې په ګډه سره کار وکړو چې تر څو زموږ کار نور هم مؤثر شي. په دې هیله یو چې وکولی شو د هېواد د پرمختګ او د بېوزلو خلکو د خدمت په لوري عملي ګامونه واخلو. دوستان عزیز و گرامی، از حضور فعال و ارزشمند شما در این کنفرانس سپاسگزار میکنم. امروز در این نشست گفتگوی تازه‌ای را میان ائتلاف‌ها، احزاب، نهادهای سیاسی، شخصیت‌های ملی افغانستان آغاز کرد. هدف ما این بود که راه‌هایی برای جلب سرمایه‌گذاری‌های مفید، کمک‌های بشردوستانه برای نیازمندان و همکاری برای حل مشکلات اقتصادی پیدا کنیم و آینده بهتر برای افغانستان ترسیم نماییم. متاسفانه در گذشته پیشتر توجه ما روی مسائل سیاسی بود، در حالی که اقتصاد هم با همان اندازه مهم است. ما باید بدانیم که رشد اقتصادی میتواند بسیاری از مشکلات ما را کاهش دهد. اگر پیشتر مردم افغانستان از فقر و گرسنگی نجات پیدا کند و اقتصاد کشور قوی شود، دیگر نیاز نداریم تا همیشه به کشورهای همسایه وابسته باشیم. ما باید از کمک گرفتن دائمی دور شویم و به سوی یک اقتصاد مستقل و خودکفا حرکت کنیم. با این کار بسیاری از مشکلات اجتماعی، سیاسی و اقتصادی ما حل خواهد شد. در آینده نیز تلاش خواهیم کرد تا با همکاری اداره دولتی، نهادهای خیریه، سرمایه‌گذاران کنفرانس‌های حضوری در داخل و خارج از کشور برگزار کنیم تا این گفتگوها ادامه یابد و برای مشکلات موجود رای حل پیدا شود. از توجه شما سپاسگزاریم. برای شما آرزوی سلامتی و موفقیت داریم.
ډیره مننه قدرمن آشنا صاحب. And now I have the honor to invite Dr. Munir Ahmad to share the declaration of today's conference with us. Dear Dr. Munir, you now lead us forward with your words.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Durkhani. I would like to apologize for our two English-speaking guests that the draft of the declaration has been written as we were participating during the conference in order to reflect the main points that has been mentioned here. So it has been prepared in Pashto, and we promise that an English translation will be provided to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. د افغانستان لپاره د بشري مرستو د هڅولو او د پانګونې جلبولو د نړیوال کنفرانس پریکړه لیک. نن د 2025 کال د جون د میاشتې په 28مه د ملي خبرو اترو لپاره هدفمند ائتلاف د بهرمیشتو افغانانو نړیوال شورا او د افغانستان د بیارغونې نړیوال بنسټ د افغانستان لپاره د بشري مرستو هڅولو او د پانګونې جلبولو نړیوال کنفرانس جوړ. په دې غونډه کې چې په مجازي بڼه جوړه شوې وه په بهر کې د میشتو افغانانو د ټولنو نړیوالو مرستندویو جوړښتونو د پانګونې او سوداګرۍ لیوالو شرکتونو په کابل کې د چارواکو استازي او همدارس د افغانستان د مدني او سیاسي فعالینو ځینې وتلې څیرې رابلل شوې وې. په غونډه کې ګڼ شمېر کسانو ګډون کړی و چې د بشري مرستو او پانګونې په دوو جلا ورکشاپونو کې په اړونده موضوعاتو پراخ بحثونه وکړل. د کنفرانس ټولو ګډونوالو ټینګار وکړ چې د افغانستان د کړېدلي ولس د تیرو څو لسیزو ستونزو او اوسنۍ نړیوالې سیاسي او اقتصادي انزوا ته په کتلو د افغانستان د خلکو سره مرسته یو بیړنی او حیاتي امر دی چې په هیڅ ډول سیاسي او ایډیالوژیکه بهانه یې ځنډول د توجیه وړ نه دي. د افغانستان خلک د نړۍ د ټولو انسانانو په شان د سوکاله او هوسا ژوند حق لري او دې حق ته د رسیدو لپاره هر ډول بې غرضه هڅې او مبارزه یوه سپېڅلې او بشري داهیه ده. د کنفرانس ګډونوالو ته پانګونې د ورکشاپ په برخه کې د افغانستان د ملي اقتصاد د بیارغونې پروګرام نیرپا د هغه د تنظیم کوونکو لخوا معرفي شو چې د زیربنایي جوړښتونو ترڅنګ په کابل او ولایاتو کې د انرژۍ، کانونو، صنایعو، لارو او ترانسپورت، روغتیا، مصنوعي زیرمنتیا، ښوونې او روزنې او عام المنفعه پروژو په برخه کې د سیمه ایزو خلکو په ګټه اقتصادي پانګونې په پام کې لري. په دې برخه کې د سیمه ایزو چارواکو د هر اړخیزه همکارۍ د ژمنو یادونه هم وشوه. ټینګار وشو چې د افغانستان د بیارغونې او اقتصادي پرمختیا په لاره کې د پانګوالو د یوې شبکې رامنځته کول او د هغوی ترمنځ همغږي اړین دي. د بشري مرستو د ورکشاپ په غونډه کې د هغو لارو چارو په هکله تفصیلي خبرې وشوې کومې چې له یوې خوا له مرستندویو اړخونو څخه د مرستو په راجلبولو او له بلې خوا په هیواد کې دننه اړوندو کسانو ته د مرستو د رسولو او عادلانه ویش پورې اړونده وي. په دې برخه کې ټینګار وشو چې په هیواد کې د فقر او بېوزلۍ د له منځه وړلو اساسي لاره د کار او بوختیا رامنځته کول او له اقتصادي فعالیتونو او پانګونې سره د بشري مرستو د تړاو د میکانیزمونو رامنځته کول دي. په دې برخه کې د ښکلا د خیریه بنسټ یادونه وشوه چې له بېوزلو کسانو سره د مرستو ترڅنګ په هیواد کې د کار او بوختیا د شرایطو د رامنځته کولو لارې د بېوزلۍ او فقر سره د مبارزې اغیزمنه لاره غوره کړې ده. په کنفرانس کې د افغانستان د دولتي چارواکو استازي هم برخه اخیستې وه چې ژمنه یې وکړه په هیواد کې د پانګونې او همداراز د بشري مرستو او فعالیتونو په برخه کې لازمې اسانتیاوې رامنځته کړي. په کنفرانس کې ټینګار وشو چې د افغانستان له خلکو سره د بشري مرستو او همداراز د اقتصادي فعالیتونو او پانګونې په برخه کې تر ټولو مهمه موضوع په چارو او حسابونو کې شفافیت او په چارو باندې د ولس نظارت دی. په دې برخه کې د بهرمیشتو افغانانو د ټولنو، متخصصینو او مدني فعالینو د مهم رول یادونه وشوه. ژمنه وشوه چې دا کنفرانسونه او غونډې به د هیواد د بیا رغولو په چارو کې په منظمه توګه جوړیږي. ومن الله التوفیق. ډیره مننه.
Thank you, Dr. Munir. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this conference, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank each and every one of you for being here. دوستان ارجمند، ما آیسته آیسته به پایان این کنفرانس می رسیم و قبل از پایان کنفرانس ما می خواهیم از 3 ساختار غیر انتفاعی هر یک: ائتلاف هدفمند برای گفتمان ملی، شورای جهانی افغانها در خارج از کشور و نهاد بازسازی دوباره افغانستان و واقعا صحبت‌های جالب را که ساختار نیرپاد اینجا داشتن، از همه اینا تشکر کنم. ما امیدوار هستم که ما بتانیم در کنفرانس‌های آینده باز هم گرد هم بیاییم و برای بازسازی افغانستان عزیز قدم‌های مثمر برداریم. دیو آزاد، آباد، پرمختللی او پرزان بسیار افغانستان به هیله. کور مو ودان، خانه آباد و وطنتان آبادتر.
ډیره مننه.
ډیره زیاته مننه. له ټولو نه مننه.
ستاسو قدرمنې زین خوري څخه هم ډیره مننه چې واقعا موافقانه کنفرانس مخکې وکړ. ډیره مننه.
مننه تاسو نه. مننه له ټولو.
خوشحاله اوسئ.